Imagine a world without modern medicine, without anesthesia, without sterile environments. Now, picture an ancient surgeon wielding primitive tools, preparing to open a human skull. It sounds like a death sentence, doesn't it? Yet, across ancient civilizations, a practice known as trepanation, the surgical drilling or scraping of a hole into the skull, was not only common but astonishingly successful. For thousands of years, these procedures were performed with an outcome that defies belief, survival rates reaching an incredible 80%. This is the story of humanity's earliest and most daring surgeons, and the mysteries of their nearly impossible craft. Our journey begins with a chilling discovery. Skeletons unearthed from ancient burial sites bear a distinct mark, a perfectly circular or square hole in the skull. This wasn't the result of violence, but of meticulous surgical intervention. Trepanation, as it's known, is perhaps the oldest surgical procedure for which we have archaeological evidence. For millennia, our ancestors dared to breach the very casing of the brain, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible in medicine. Their bravery and their patient's resilience stand as a testament to early human ingenuity. The prevalence of trepanation is staggering, not confined to one isolated culture, but found across the globe. From Neolithic Europe, through ancient Peru, to Africa and the South Pacific, evidence of skull surgery spans continents and millennia. The earliest examples date back to around 7000 BCE in France, indicating a practice deeply embedded in early human societies. This widespread adoption suggests that basic human afflictions and the drive to heal them transcended geographical and cultural barriers, leading independently to this extreme form of intervention. How was such a delicate operation performed with the tools of the Stone Age? Ancient surgeons used rudimentary instruments fashioned from obsidian, flint, bronze, or even shark teeth. They employed techniques like scraping, cutting, or drilling, patiently working through layers of bone. While incredibly primitive by modern standards, these tools were used with astounding precision. The skill required to carefully remove a piece of skull without damaging the delicate brain matter underneath speaks volumes about the mastery of these ancient practitioners. Why would anyone undergo such a procedure? The reasons were varied, encompassing both practical medical necessity and profound spiritual beliefs. Evidence suggests trepanation was used to treat head injuries, relieve intracranial pressure from swelling, or alleviate chronic conditions like severe migraines and epilepsy. However, it was also performed for ritualistic purposes, believed to release evil spirits causing mental illness or to gain spiritual insight, demonstrating a blend of therapeutic and supernatural understanding. While trepanation was global, the most remarkable examples come from ancient Peru, particularly among the Inca and pre-Inca cultures. Here, archaeologists have uncovered thousands of trepan skulls, many showing undeniable signs of healing. Their techniques were exceptionally refined, achieving astonishing success rates. Some studies of Peruvian skulls indicate survival rates that could reach 80% or even higher, eclipsing surgical outcomes well into the modern era and making these ancient Andean surgeons true pioneers. How do we know patients survive these harrowing operations? The answer lies in the bone itself. When a trepanation was successful, the edges of the drilled or cut bone would show signs of remodeling and regrowth, a clear indication that the patient lived long enough for the healing process to begin. This biological evidence, seen under microscopic examination, is the undeniable proof of life, transforming these ancient skulls from morbid relics into testaments of resilience. The incredible 80% survival rate poses a fascinating question. How did they achieve it without modern antiseptics or antibiotics? Several factors likely contributed. Surgeons may have possessed an empirical understanding of hygiene, using clean water or natural antiseptics derived from plants. The slow, careful method of scraping bone likely minimized trauma. Patient selection was crucial. Only those strong enough to endure the procedure would be chosen, and a strong immune system was vital for recovery. Pain management during trepanation remains one of the greatest mysteries. While general anesthesia, as we know it, didn't exist, ancient cultures certainly had methods to dull pain and induce sedation. In the Andes, coca leaves, alcohol, and various herbal concoctions like Jimson weed or San Pedro cactus could have been used for their analgesic and hypnotic properties. Hypnosis or ritualistic chanting might also have played a role, aiming to calm the patient and prepare them for the ordeal. Who were these daring surgeons? They weren't just common individuals. In many societies, healers held revered positions, combining medical knowledge with spiritual authority. They might have been shamans, priests, or specialized physicians who inherited their craft through generations of apprenticeship. Their role was not merely surgical. They were custodians of community health, spiritual guides, and perhaps even ritual leaders, making their expertise both practical and profound. In many cultures, the act of trepanation was likely imbued with sacred meaning. The skull, housing the brain and consciousness, was seen as a gateway to the spirit world. Opening it could have been an act of reverence, a way to connect with deities, or to purify the individual. This spiritual dimension might have lent courage to both the patient and the practitioner, elevating the dangerous procedure beyond mere physical intervention into a profound, life-altering, and possibly spiritual experience. Trepanation isn't just a relic of the past. It's a direct ancestor of modern neurosurgery. Today, craniotomy procedures involve carefully opening the skull to address brain tumors, hemorrhages, or severe head trauma. While vastly more sophisticated, the fundamental principle remains the same: accessing the brain to save a life. The ancient practice underscores humanity's continuous quest to understand and mend the most complex organ, building a bridge between primitive courage and advanced medical science. The story of ancient trepanation challenges our perceptions of primitive societies. It reveals cultures with a sophisticated understanding of anatomy, ingenious problem-solving skills, and a profound drive to alleviate suffering. The 80% survival rate is a powerful reminder that complex medical interventions are not solely the domain of modernity. It forces us to acknowledge the enduring human spirit of innovation, compassion, and the relentless pursuit of healing against all odds. The ancient practice of trepanation is more than just a historical curiosity. It's a profound testament to the extraordinary capabilities of early humans. Faced with severe illness and injury, they devised and mastered a surgical procedure that even today seems breathtakingly audacious. Their 80% survival rate whispers stories of incredible skill, empirical knowledge, and an unwavering belief in the power to heal. This journey into the past reminds us that the human spirit, driven by necessity and ingenuity, can achieve the seemingly impossible, leaving a legacy of medical bravery etched into the very bones of history.